Yeah. Time for my morning smoke. Where to begin? You know, I have led a very storied life. I've been up on top, I've been down on the bottom, and I can tell you that you never know what's coming for you. You never know. Hold on. So, where do we begin? I guess we'll start at the very beginning, because it is, after all, a very good place to start. I was hatched in a coop down in Louisville, Kentucky. I never knew my parents. As fate would have it, I ended up being the one to take the job, the one chicken that crossed the road. So every time that joke got told, I'd have to, you know, stop whatever I was doing and, you know, cross the road. But whatever kind of road there was in my general vicinity, I'd cross. You know, no big deal. I took pride in it, you know. My enthusiasm started to get me noticed by the right people. And pretty soon, I was making a name for myself. I got invited to tour with the Rolling Stones, got real tight with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and all them guys. Touring with Led Zeppelin, those guys could party. And then I started hanging out with David Bowie, and then I met Andy Warhol, and hanging out with him at his factory. I remember one night we dropped acid. Him, me, Lou Reed, and Bowie. We started doing lines of coke off of Mama Cass's tits. It was one of those nights you're never gonna forget. Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix played and the sun came out. I was there, I was sitting on top of one of the amps, and I was in tears. That was one of the most beautiful moments in my entire life. I think my favorite thing was mushrooms. I did about like an ounce of mushrooms with Keith Richards one time. And he went on stage, and I was backstage at the concert. It was Madison Square Garden here in New York, and I went on stage in the middle of their act, and I laid an egg on stage. You believe that? I laid an egg on stage. Not a pretty sight, I'll tell you that. Looked like Kermit the Frog. I went to politics, as strange as it sounds. I was involved in the Watergate hearings. Eventually, it led me to the Oval Office. I was one of Ronald Reagan's chief advisors. Soon after that, my life really fell apart. That's when I got hooked on all different kinds of drugs. I was really hard for cash, so I was doing a lot of things I wasn't really proud of, you know, to get the fix. And really, those years were a blur. Those years were a blur, except I know that I remained true to my one guiding principle. I would cross that road every time. No matter how messed up I was on whatever kind of drug, I would cross that road. It dawned on me one morning. I woke up in the gutter, and I said to myself, you know, this can't go on. You gotta be you. You gotta do something. So I started putting the pieces back together. I started exercising, started doing all sorts of things to get my resume together, start getting employed, start cleaning up my act. And you know, here I am today. I'm doing that thing. I'm crossing the road. I got a job working at a school. I think I'm gonna write a book. You know, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people interested in what the old chicken's been up to these last couple of decades, and you know what the old chicken's got to say for himself. I'm sure it'll be maybe even a bestseller. I'm not saying I ain't saying nothing, but you know, it could be good.